Welcome to CreamForThis 12th edition. Is nobody gonna point out that we have gotten 12 of these and nobody's gonna complain that it's getting repetitive? Either way. First off, let's start off with the maps. They added freaking 12 of them. Almost half of them are for a game mode that is so bad it's laughable, but we will get to that. First map is Manslovenia. It's a player destruction map where you collect Kool-Aid bags for the Kool-Aid Man. This map is inherently choky and tight that it's impossible for a team to push forward if the opposite team is gathered around the middle point. Speaking of mid is inherently small compared to other player destruction maps. Second map is Lava Pit. It's a gravel pit. It's a gravel pit reskin with lava and spells. It's just a reskin. Just nothing special.
I must say though, by me healing you, you automatically sign a waiver that consents to the fact that none of these drugs, none of what is being pumped into you, has been approved by the FDA. The FDA doesn't even know about what I'm putting into you.
Third map is Sandcastle. This is just a Root Keep reskin. However, the map creators were very clever and creative, and they made it look like you're a tiny version of yourself infiltrating a literal sandcastle. For some reason, spells are available, which means you can chuck spells into spawn and control points, which is really dumb, and the portal to obtain these spells are open 24/7, so have fun capturing the last point. Oh. Fourth map is Corruption. This is a payload map that is very well made in my opinion. You are pushing a car to what I think is an insane asylum, which is where most TF2 players reside in. The portal gimmick is fine. I like that it strips you of your primary, so you're not instantly doomed when you meet a demo or a soldier. You will need to make a sprint to the exit to escape the average retirement home, and you are mostly rewarded with a bit of overheal and Uber when you eventually do escape. No spell BS, no bosses, it's wacky enough, but it's also still really good. Fifth map is Spaniard. It is a payload map that it takes place in Italy because it spawns the mafia skeletons with Thompsons and they will spray you down because you didn't pay your taxes or whatever. The map is very small. It favors demos and soldiers since, well, choke hell. The last point is also use Doom. It's not even that big too compared to other maps. If blue managed to do a good push, it's just over for red. Overall, not a bad map, it's just very, very choky. The sixth map is Perks, and it's an arena map that is actually really good. As the name of the map implies, this map has perks, which enhances or spices up the gameplay. And the timer of this arena map is much shorter than the regular ones, which meaning you will be able to play much sooner than any normal arena map. Not to mention the perk stacks, by the way, so just so you know. The map itself is what you expect a Halloween map to be, but it is short. I won't spoil the perks for you. You will need to go in there and find out by yourself. Only complaint I have with this map is that it drops Crumpkins. You should not be able to have a random chance to crit someone across the map. That is dumb. I don't know if the map creators can do something about that, but oh well. It's a really good map either way. Last map, and I saved the best one for last. Slime. Slime is a Halloween version of Brine, a summer map with seagulls and a control point. However, they nailed the Halloween version. As soon as you join, you hear this crusty crab head-ass music. You will also notice when you load into the map, you see this Mike Wazowski looking all running. Yes, these are skeleton reskins. However, they are actually good. Yes, they slap you and shit, but also spit shit at you. Which does not only deal damage, they also make you take mini crits, similar to Jarate. And when you kill them, you get a small health pack, which is really neat. So you are rewarded for killing them. You would think the map creators were used in there, but nope! The pumpkin bombs are changed too. They cover you in goo and make you take mini crits instead of killing you instantly. There are spells on the map, however they are limited to certain locations and they respawn like health packs. They are not very common. The map is jam-packed with details and good map design, which is why I saved it for last.
I'm about to blow.
Okay, now zombie infection. Dear god, what a shitfest of a game mode this really is. And normally I didn't mind the Saxon Hail game mode, since it's been known for the community for years, and it's nice to have a custom game mode in the map rotation with a modern take on it. It was well developed, well balanced, and wasn't too broken when it was implemented. It was mostly Valve's fault, but they fixed it in the end. However, this garbage was rushed from both ends of the spectrum. Valve was clearly busy pushing and polishing up CS2, so when October rolled around, they forgot about Scream Fortress, and the creators of this game mode just wanted to rush this out for Halloween because they saw Saxon Hill get accepted this summer. The view model and HUD for zombies are mostly broken, some of the abilities are useless, like the speed demon for Scout, you are left with 75 HP, my dying grandpa can take more hits than him. The Scream ability for Spy, which leaves an outline for nearby survivors, just lasts for a couple seconds, barely makes a difference for anyone, other than for those who just spawned. It can be useful for the last player, but most of the time the last survivor has a tail of zombies on them. But the last survivors should always have an outline around them, so you don't have to search every nook and cranny on the map for the survivors if they are hiding. And they will. Cloak and dagger spies are available to hide as the last player, which is completely bullshit. And also Demonites can just outrun most of the zombies and deal 195 crit swings to anyone who dares to get close. How did nobody think about this? And yes, if you couldn't guess it already, the balance is horrid. Stack 4 engineers as the survivors and it's done. People who have room temperature IQ knows that staying together on one spot with sensors and dispensers all around them knows that it's completely impossible for zombies to push into them. The fact that only 3 people started zombies against 22 survivors is these zombies will be hunted down for the majority of the round. Not to mention zombies are only restricted to melee, they have 0 resistances, and they only get 10 HP as a bonus to stand up against a team with guns. Excellent balance, guys. I mean, yes, zombies have a passive 5 HP generated per second thingy majiggy, but I don't think that those 5 HP per second is gonna stand up against 15 people shooting you at once. Yes, I know sniper has a range attack, but hitting shots with it consistently is really hard when there are sentries and players shooting at you, and most players just know how to dodge it. Same with this demo's charge. Most of the time, engineers place themselves on top of roofs, so it's impossible to get a good charge in to begin with. You're a shit out of luck as a zombie. Most people will just finish the contracts for this game mode and never play it again. You think that was it? Nah, the maps for this game mode is really horrible too. Best one out of these maps are Sanitarium, because it forces survivors into the building. However, one Demonite can just run around as the last players and you just don't bother with the zombies. Since it's so open, you have so little time to kill them. Because when you're down to the last survivor, there's usually 1 minute left in a round. Murky is frame drop in center hell. Woods is so long and also really favors engineers in this area right here. Atoll also really benefits engineers with the roofs and you can shoot down on the zombies. Devastation is just Atoll on crack. What you could do to save this game mode is to add tiny zombies or something, make it similar to Left 4 Dead 2 where you play as special infected, or just straight up buffing the zombies, either their effective health, abilities, or knockback resistances. I don't know what's possible or what the solution is. All I know is that I can think everyone agrees on that this game mode blows and really favors the survivors. I'm amazed by the creators of this game mode. They made something new and interesting. However, it makes me pissed that Valve just looked at this and went like, huh, why not? And completely disregarding the fact that this is not only out of place with a game like this, similar to Pastime and Manpower, but also they never actually tested it, because why would they? They added 5 damn maps for this shit, and 7 other normal maps that are somewhat okay, but 12 maps in this event, with a game mode that is inherently unbalanced. Now to the hat case. Some people might have watched my stream and I probably said that this case was pretty alright or something stupid like that. And guess what? I changed my mind. This hat case fell off so fast. Similarly to the last freaking free we got, where we just get wacky gimmicky cosmetics with some that are good, thrown in with either gaudy or shitty unusual effects for both hats and taunts. Not to mention some hats are just poorly made overall and do not fit the game due to their stylistic choices. And for some reason these hats are not Halloween restricted. Hell, even this mask for Pyro that is available all year around, that has the brightest paint region ever, and also changes the structural phase for the Pyro. But this one is Halloween restricted. What the fuck? The damn Elite grade is the same hat that we got for Elite grade last year. And why can you paint the entire Spice Balaclava? What the fuck are these cosmetic choices? Look at this hat case I made. We got some spicy stuff in this, but it's kept to a minimum. Again, these cosmetics were not hard to find either. Take 2 hours to scour the workshop, look for stuff people made for you to make money, and implement it. Implement the good stuff. You can have wacky, goofy stuff, but keep it to a minimum. Because that's not where people are here for. They want new stuff to try on. They don't want to dress up all the time. We already have a lot of Halloween restricted items that people usually dress up in. And to be honest, most of these Halloween restricted stuff are just plain out bad. People just stick to the Beep Man for the Engineer, Animal Cosmetics for the Heavy, or like the Unicorn stuff that was added back in 2013 or, you know, earlier. I wasn't around back then. I mean, I was, but I just didn't really care about what got added. I just got into the game. Because these cosmetics are just better because they come with, you know, voice lines. Meanwhile, these are just very bad. I also picked a handful of unusual effects off the workshop. It's not that hard. It took me like 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours for something that would yield me like more than hundreds of thousands of dollars directly into my bank account. It confuses me. Why do Valve go back to this shit? They obviously made bank from the summer event this year. From just adding a good warpaint case, a good hat case with good unusual effects, except for the taunts, they suck. Other than that, they made some serious bank off of that update, as people would call it. But Valve always stoops back down to the same wacky gimmicky shit every single Scream Fortress. And it's been such a long time since we have received a cosmetic case that is just consistent with everything else. And everyone keeps opening the case because, you know, I guess that's what we gotta do now. Just buy into it like a bunch of fucking sheep. I know it's been one seasonal event since we got a good case, I know, but it's really important that we don't get these cosmetics because now you can create a spy loadout that looks like this. Is this really what we want? You can now remove every single pastel color on spy and replace it with a very saturated version that does not only look out of place, but it also looks really fucking not gonna lie. Anyways, that was the event review. Thank you all for rushing everything instead of taking your time and adding things that are worth adding. Some taunts were good and the maps were good, except for the zombie infection ones. I'm glad they didn't pick warpaints this Scream Fortress because they would be on par with the hat case in terms of quality. See you guys at Smithmas, and let's hope Valve bounces back to their usual standards they set in summer. Thanks, bye.